You begin on a dirt path in the woods, seamlessly leading towards a cabin cozily located within a clearing. A little voice in your head named the narrator informs you that your job here is to slay the princess that's in the basement of said cabin. Do it, or the princess will end the world. If any of that sounds weird to you, miraculously waking up in the woods, having a voice in your head that narrates whatever is happening, a princess being locked away in a basement of a cabin, and a voice in your head telling you to slay her or the world will end, well, fret not. The narrator will be happy to explain everything.
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Or at least, explain enough. If slaying a princess doesn't sit right in your stomach, you could always leave.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Or at least try to. You a little confused? Let me clear that up. If you decide to avoid the interaction of the cabin altogether, you will perish, to which you will return to the path in the woods, with a large brick wall barricading you from leaving entirely. And if you're also a little confused about your resurrection, stay a while. That'll get explained later. As for the narrator who is never aware of your passing, that will get explained later as well. For now, your options are sort of limited. You will go to the cabin and you will interact with the princess. You should also notice another voice occupying your brain, a voice of reason, the voice of the hero.
Relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
This voice is more balanced, non-biased, in the middle of the moral scale. He neither wants to just outright slay the princess or to let her walk scotch-free. Just like you, he is oblivious to everything that is happening. Both him and the narrator will share their beliefs and opinions on your choices as the story progresses.
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
If you didn't try to leave before, this should be your first encounter, and you can structure this first encounter any possible way you can. You could leave that pristine blade that's perched up on the table, or take the blade downstairs to the basement. You could have a little chat with the princess, or not. You could outright just slay the princess, or you can try and save her. Whatever you choose to do initially, you can either double down on it, or change your mind halfway through. There's rarely any choices you make that forces you into a linear decision, but beware, the princess is not what you may believe she is. You have a plethora of ways to go about your first encounter with her, and with each different encounter brings a unique tale. Whether you die, she dies, or both of you die, the next time you are miraculously brought back to life, things will be different. For starters, you will have a new voice accompanying your journey.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
This voice will be different depending on your actions in your first encounter. For example, the voice of the broken would be with you if you had died in a pathetic fashion. Or, the voice of the contrarian will appear if you decide to employ unusual choices to your journey. The voices won't be the only change of note, however. The cabin itself will have an entirely different aesthetic depending on what happened during the first encounter, and the princess will as well. There will also be a mirror in the cabin that the narrator cannot see. On your third encounter, the mirror will still be there, but the narrator still won't be able to see it.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door.
And speaking of your third encounter, when you reach it, you will notice an even more drastic shift. Not only will the cabin be different, but the princess will be a sort of ascended version of whatever she was in the second encounter. And the plain trail in the woods might not even be that during your third meeting. On top of all of this, there will be yet another voice in your head, and every last one of these voices will chime in and give their opinions on just about every action or dialogue choice you make. It may be a little disorienting, but be steadfast. This will be the last encounter before the game really begins. Or, it might not. Some tales have 4 chapters instead of 3, which will feature an even more convoluted path, cabin, princess, and include an additional little voice to weigh the scale of your moral compass. After you've played through your 3rd or 4th chapter, you will see the end result of the princess, her final form in whichever tale you've created. The world around her, or around you, if she's not in sight, will start to disappear and you will be surrounded with nothingness. There will be a singular mirror awaiting you, probably the same mirror you've seen in the cabin. Once you approach this mirror, you will finally see what you are, some kind of feathery creature with claw-like hands who, depending on its choices, will either wither, grow, unravel, or stay the same. If you make the right subset of choices, instead of seeing that, you'll see who you really are. With the right decisions, you'll find that when you peer through the mirror, you'll catch the narrator's gaze looking back at you. That's because you are the narrator. Or rather, the narrator is you. At the beginning, there are certain dialogue options that, if prompted, will allow you to see the physical evidence of this. That's not all either. When you get past this section, past the mirror, you will then come face to face with the real princess. She will take on the look of the princess you've last encountered if you meet her before the grand finale. She'll reveal that she is an eternal being of contradiction.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own.
What she asks of you is to bring her vessels. These are the individual memories, every one of the different possibilities that can take place during this story. It's what brings her the most joy and what makes her keep growing. Once you reach the finale, you will bear witness to her truest form. You'll see the millions of hands, the millions of bodies, each vessel that she has collected through each memory. Presumably, every memory that you've created for her. The truth is, the hero of this tale is in this perpetual loop to bring the princess as many of these vessels as he possibly can to please her. If I'm being honest, it is a love story because when you choose to be in her will, you choose to make memories forever and ever, the infinite. The princess loves you. That's why she wants you to bring her as many vessels as you can. Stepping into the infinite with her means to embark on an eternal journey of change. But just like every other decision in this game, you have choices. If you don't want to spend the eternity in her infinite, you can well and truly slay her for good. She will say something about her impact on the world. She knows she has an impact, she just doesn't know how great it is. It doesn't bother her if you come to slay her. She says that as long as you'll be in the world, all is well, and that she loves you. From this point on, I'm going to give a little summary of the main plot. If you don't want major spoilers, feel free to click off, but please, like and subscribe before you go. Now, for all of you that have played the game and or you want to hear a summarized synopsis, well, listen up. It gets even freakier because the princess in the finale explains that the Echo, aka the narrator, experienced death so much that he split himself into 2. Those 2 parts being the princess and the hero, which is some huge feathery creature thingy. The princess even put it in layman's terms by saying the hero was given a job and she was given a role to play. The narrator, or the Echo, wasn't lying when he said the world would end if you didn't slay the princess. 1 million, probably billion, probably trillions of worlds have ended. But I guess he wasn't telling you the whole truth about the world being fine if you left her alive, saying as whenever you did that, you would be enveloped into nothing anyways. I guess the reason why the narrator was so opposed to Princess and why he was so pushy to get you to slay her was because if you weren't given the job, there would not have been nearly enough memories to supply for the princess. The story of this game is probably the best story I've heard in fiction, period. It has so many layers that just get more and more interesting as you keep unraveling them. You think you know what the game's about in the first 5 minutes, and then you change your mind after the first encounter. Then your mind gets changed again when you meet the royal princess, and then you find out what you're controlling the whole time, and it just gets wilder and wilder every minute. And in terms of gameplay and replayability, dude, if you have the patience, you can easily sink like 20 hours plus into this game. I am highly disappointed this game didn't get the recognition it deserved. It's a masterpiece. I picked it up recently and I have not been able to put it down. If you haven't played this before, I really urge you to give it a try. It's only 18 USD on Steam. I'm unemployed and even I can afford that. Anyway, that is Slay the Princess, the scariest psychological romance game you've probably never played. My name is Monster. Thank you for stopping by and listening. Please drop a like if you enjoyed, let me know what you think about Slay the Princess, and subscribe if you want to see me yap about more game stuffs. Hopefully, I'll be talking to you later. Stay easy.